all set up. That might be a little helpful. We'll get this put up here. I need my Alright, let me see. Let me find my condensed milk recipe. I find that we're pretty much golden. And turn the music down. Now, turn the music down a little bit just so you can hear me. Only if you want to, you don't have to. You could mute the whole stream, I guess, if you want. Mute the tab. Cups and 2/3 cup. So essentially, all that condensed milk is you take milk, you take sugar, and then you basically just kind of slowly simmer the water out of the milk. That's all it is. Nothing too fancy. Slide this. No, that's at the perfect view. We don't want to slide that over. But I will take my other. Hey, find it. basically we want to have it on a low heat to essentially get the sugar melted. Melt the sugar in there. And then I have to get it up to like a medium low heat. And then once we get it to the medium low heat, we don't touch it. Put it like this. Just so I can get another pot. I'm gonna make the butterscotch over here. And try to. I think we can though. I think we got enough room. Little baby sugars. Come on. Otherwise, we just gotta play like the patience game essentially with it, and then you'll see it all darken and everything too. Basically, you're like kind of almost caramelizing it a little bit, essentially. Nothing too hard. It's just a lot of this kind of stuff when it comes to making it. It's more time consuming than anything else. And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have the time to do that. And it's like, I feel like we all have a little extra time that we could probably like do this kind of stuff. You just have to like make it happen. Not too hard of a thing. But, I mean, you don't have to do it every day like I do. Like I do it at least every week. Because I make this stuff pretty regularly. You don't have to go that far, but I think it's fun. I think it's a nice challenge. You know, melted in there. Let me. We got a little bit left. And yes, I have washed my hands. I dive right in there. So, just wait until the rest of that sugar dissolves, which is not going to take that long at all. Then we got to get it up to a light simmer. I should see how much brown sugar I actually need in that. This is 35 to 40 minutes until milk is. We'll cancel that, go to the Butterbeer. A cup of brown sugar. I could probably almost do the butterscotch in my little pan that I get. Probably almost do it in there. I'm definitely thinking I can. My phone is glitching like crazy right now. Half a cup of brown sugar, half a cup of whipping cream. Yeah, we can make the butterscotch right now, honestly. I don't need to listen to really any of that kind of stuff. So it says in a saucepan, add all the stuff right away, which I'm a little hesitant on because it's like I've made it before. Usually you don't like to add all the stuff together, but this is saying you can. touch it. And then I want half a cup of heavy cream, half a cup of brown sugar. This is when it comes to trial and error, baby. We're gonna follow the recipe. We got enough brown sugar to try it twice. So about half a cup. Say, turn it up to what heat? add certain things. That'll make it interesting later on. But because I've been streaming pretty much consistently every week on Sundays, which is nice. Trying to do just one day a week. I don't want to do like too many and burn myself out because I have like other things I'm trying to do too and trying to learn. But dude, it's awesome. Might have to turn that down a smidgen. I don't want it to go. I don't want it to boil over, and it looks like it's. It looks like it's gonna boil over a little. Is it? Is it? Don't boil over on me. No, 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 no. We don't allow that here. Might have needed a little bit more room in the pot, but you know, sometimes it just be like that. Yeah, one was kicking an arcade game because it ran out of tickets. Oh my gosh. Kids, I tell you. Is this at like an actual like arcade, like it's dedicated to be an arcade, or is it like a Dave & Buster's, or? Oh, dude, look at that butterscotch, just turning beautiful, man. Woo! Might have to turn this up a smidgen. I think we're just about there on the heat over here. It's not simmering yet, but it's almost simmering. I'm talking about the melt too, by the way. This is fine. That's turning out perfect right now. I got it right at the perfect heat where it's not going to boil over and get a mess all over my cooktop. I really don't want that. Yeah, old school arcade. I think I got a picture. You'll DM it. Dedicated old school arcade. You got that heat perfect. That's just under the rip, dude. That took a little bit, but I got it there. Yeah. But that's the one thing about the kitchen is I just adapt really quickly and figure that stuff out right on the fly. Oh, I was a little worried that it was gonna. I was a little worried that I was gonna go over. Like, no, we're not having that. But that pan fits on there perfectly. That was a pan I had, or a saucepan, I should say. I got that from my parents' house because they bought me a pot and pan set like when I first moved out and everything. And this piece I still have, but this piece, the whole bottom is just scratched to crap and everything too. And I haven't got to the point where I want to invest in something different yet. But then this one I put away because I never used. So this one's like pretty much perfect condition. I've never used this one. My other one that I had was a little bit like taller and deeper. That one, essentially I scratched the crap out of like this one. I've slowly been investing in like other like pots and pans, but I need to invest in some other ones. I got this one. I got this nice rock one, which this one's pretty beautiful. This one I use all the time. I love it. They're a little bit more on the spendier side when it comes to investing just in them. Like this one was probably like 30, 40 bucks almost just for one. But, and you can almost get a whole pot and pan set for that. But you're probably not getting the best quality either. You know, it's what you invest into it is what you get. Okay, so this is about done. I got my leftover almond butter jar. Not sponsored. We'll pour that in there. Maybe get a little cocky. Oh. you just can't beat the smell, man. Butterscotch. Can't beat the smell. Now I just gotta wait for this beauty to get going. This is gonna take a while. Want it slightly simmering. But essentially, this recipe also has a no churn option. So you guys, so anybody else like watching this can make this. And you don't have to make the butterscotch from scratch if you don't want to. You can buy that by all means, whatever's easiest for you. And I'm making the condensed milk. This is the condensed milk right now, so I'm making this stuff from scratch too. But you don't have to do that either. You could buy like the canned stuff. You'd probably still make it pretty good. Maybe, probably not as good as all this stuff like combined together, but you still make it. Because it calls for condensed milk, whipping cream. You basically, if you don't have an ice cream churner like me, then essentially you have to sit there and beat up like the whipping cream, like when it's cool, to basically just whip it up and make it, what's the word for it? The stiff peaks. You want to get like the stiff peaks in there. Then you basically fold it all together, and then you're slowly like adding layer for layer. You're adding the ice cream mix, and then the butterscotch, ice cream mix, butterscotch, kind of like lasagna. And that's really it. And then you just freeze it. You freeze it till it basically sets. But for me, the nice part is I have an ice cream churner with a compressor. So already will do all the cold chilling and everything for me. So I can mix all this stuff in there and throw it in there hot. And it's going to be done in an hour or less. Which is fantastic. Which as soon as this is done, I'm going to mix it all together. And then I'll just slowly pour the butterscotch in there. Slowly pour it in there. We'll make it happen. Oh, I will DM some pics on Discord. I will always share pictures of food. The camera gets to eat first, as they say. But it's not a complicated thing to make. It really isn't. And I think a lot of people get deterred from cooking because they feel like it's complicated. And a lot of it's just kind of like timing, and you just have to have a little bit of patience here or there. Like if you're making this stuff from scratch, it just takes time. That's the biggest thing. And some stuff's a lot easier to like mess up than other stuff. Like this condensed milk is not that hard of a recipe. Realistically. Oh, you're gonna DM me arcade pics? Nice. You love cooking. Cooking is fantastic. But essentially, like this condensed milk, all it is from like making it at home is you take the milk, you put sugar in there, and then you're basically just slowly evaporating the water out of there. So then you just have pure milk and pure sugar. And I got whole milk in there too. You gotta have it nice and creamy. That whole milk just makes it pop. I think we're just about almost to a simmer. We're just about there. I usually set a timer about now, just so I have one for relative time. Yeah, you can DM me anytime. Don't mind me just sniffing the pan. Or the pot, I should say. It's not a pan. Try not to hack my lung up into this. But it's always been a nice, soothing, like therapeutic kind of thing. Like that's the way I find cooking. And I hope other people can find cooking that way too. Find it like actually like therapeutic. Some people find it very stressful and just don't like it, and that's fair. Just gotta find the form that actually is helpful for you. Otherwise, you just see like the condensed milk basically darken in color. It'll reduce by quite a bit. That's how you tell it's done. You'll start getting like sugars and stuff coming on the rim. Otherwise, this is just the longest part that we have. Once this part's done, we're golden. Otherwise, I'm going to go ahead and have my body armor and creatine, and then I'm going to start eating my food for the day. I'm definitely set on the creatine. For how much body armor I actually drink, be a fun thing to be like actual, what's the word for it? Be a fun thing to be actual like sponsored by body armor. For how much body armor I drink. Okay, I seen you were messaging right when I was walking away. So when you get a minute, check Discord, follow that link I said. It's a special server. Ooh. What kind of server? Is it full of memes and dreams? I'm still waiting for the sugar to get on the rim. That's how I know I'm definitely at the right step. This condensed milk always makes me a little bit worried. It'll turn out. Just takes time. I'll have to check my Discord on my desktop. I don't have Discord on my laptop. Mostly because I actually will take it to places with me. And I try to have that separation when I go other places. But I will check it out on my desktop. I actually deleted Discord on my phone too, just so I don't have to feel like I have to check it all the time. use the browser Discord on the desktop too. Yeah, that's the way I do it. I don't have it on my phone anymore because I feel like when I had it on my phone, I checked it all the time. Social media, like it depends on the social media site. Like there's certain ones that I know that I'm just not gonna be the best on because I'm gonna use it like all the time. Where there's other ones that I just don't really like care too much about. I feel like Instagram was that a little bit for me. Facebook was like that for me when I had it on there. Like it was definitely a time waster. I don't use it nearly as much now because I deleted my account originally and then I made another account and I have it on my computer and I can have access to it on my phone. I just don't have the app. I use like the actual browser and I rarely go on it. Like there's no reason for me to really go on Facebook. Twitter has never been like that for me. Some people are addicted to Twitter of all things. Twitter is something I've never really like truly understood. I mean, I guess like you make tweets, all that kind of stuff, like that's kind of more common sense, but there's some people that are like legitimately addicted to Twitter, and that's never been me, and it never really will be me. I can honestly say that. Like, I use it for business, like with my Twitch stuff. But otherwise, I never really like. I use it maybe a little bit for personal, but very rarely will I post like personal stuff on there. Like it's all my like Twitch stuff that I do, my highlights, Twitch shorts, or my YouTube shorts, the TikToks, also known as TikToks. Discord was something I definitely used a lot on my phone though, personally, because I really like doing it. And it was nice like connecting with other people, but then I asked myself, I'm like, am I like trying to like connect with everybody constantly and I'm like not trying to like connect with myself? And I'm like, that's when it hit me. I'm like, you know, I'm like, I need to stop. Same, Twitter is all Twitch for me. I don't like any social media besides Discord. Discord I like a lot more because of the people in it. Like people make the Discord essentially. Ironically, both ways, like people make Discord groups, but people also like make Discord what it is, and I like Discord for that reason. A lot of my friends that don't really know much about Discord, like they know a little bit about it. Like one of my older friends, she's like, "Oh, that's just gaming," and I'm like, "No, it's much more than just gaming." But it's like it just goes to show you, like that's what the general perception of Discord would probably be. A lot of people are like, "Oh, it's just for gaming," and I'm like, "No, it's not. Like, there's more to it than that." Then I explained it, and I told them that it's very much like a community-based platform, and it's all what you make out of it, though, too. Like, if you want it to be a positive, uplifting thing, then by all means, it's going to be a positive, uplifting thing. If you want it to be a negative, like social media, like trash, where everybody's just sitting there complaining, and nobody's like having like resolutions or trying to like fix stuff in life, then that's what it's gonna be. And it really is what you make of it. Truth, y'all are family there, especially little Pee Wee. Yeah, it's nice to have other kind of families, especially when other people don't have that kind of stuff at home. Like some people have some very messy homes, and it's like if you have something that feels structured and you get to like jump back to and like talk to and everything and feel heard, seen, loved, all that stuff, it's amazing. I even have this icon here too. Have that one. There we go. And that one. I have this one. I think I had a funny message for my alert one. Nope, never mind. I thought I had one. What was it? I don't remember. There was like a funny like command that I had. I thought maybe not. Slowly figuring out all that stuff. I mean, that's the thing about it though, we all have, even the people that seem very structured, we all got messiness to our lives. Because some people make it look better than others. I know I'm definitely guilty of that, where a lot of people will see like all my life being structured. They're like, wow, they're like, your life's really good. It's like, yeah, it's like, but I have my messy moments just like anybody else. Everybody has it. We all just get through it. Life's hard. It really is. I gotta figure out how to like actually raid channels. Just what I gotta figure out how to do it. I don't think I've ever raided a channel before. Is it really? Is it just exclamation point raid and then the username? That's it? I've never done it before. My luck, I probably raid the wrong person. Start a raid, type follow by the name of the channel you wish to raid. For example, if you want to raid Twitch Presents channel, you type raid. Alternatively, click the raid channel quick action on your dashboard. Select a channel from the suggested list or search for a channel. I do that in Streamlabs? Like I do that in Streamlabs or I do that on Twitch? I don't even see that as an option on Streamlabs unless I'm blind and I just don't know where to click. I need to get a bar stool. Right on Twitch chat from what I'm seeing. So I'd click on let's scroll your chat all the way down. Right on Twitch chat. So let me open up Twitch. You can't even see me because I need a bar stool. I'm sitting down. I'm tall, just not that tall. Okay, Twitch. Then I click this. I click channel. Stream chat. Mod view. Shield mode. Chat highlight chat settings. Review recent raids. Not seeing that stuff on there. Report my live stream? Should I report it? Oh my gosh. So if I click, trying to see, example, if you raid the channel, click the raid channel. Oh, the dashboard. I know what you're talking about, the dashboard. Creator dashboard. Okay, so we got creator dashboard. And then I go Stream Manager, raid channel. There we go. I found it. Raid channel. We'll raid somebody today instead of just ending it like I usually do. I want to make sure I raid somebody. As long as I got like people that are actually like active. Okay, so I found it. There we go. Let me stand up so you can see me. Had this nice little chair. I'm gonna have to either find a nice bar stool and buy one too, I guess. Find one and then I can actually sit here and then you can see me. If I need to sit down. Otherwise, that's not that hard, though. We'll try to raid people every Sunday. I guarantee that I'll forget. I guarantee it. milk looks like it's going a lot better than it was.
what we're talking about. I can already see the difference in color.
still hot, and that's still cool, so then that should be Oh, tripped over the table. You'll be like that some days. You'll be like that. Okay, let me clean up my little mess. Oh, excuse me. Okay. Got that all nice and clean. I need to buy some sanitizer wipes for this though, to be honest. Use some sandy wipes. Now we have this. Let me flip it around.
Ah, you're fine. That's just my mod. You're fine. Damage my setup? I would not even think about that in the slightest. I don't think you would ever damage my setup. We've been talking for how long? Unless you're in for the long term, where you're just being, it's like a long term prank, and you're like, alright, gotcha. I highly doubt that. Highly doubt that. This ice cream, though, ooh. Ooh, mama. Oh. Lord mercy. Lord have mercy. Oh, my Lord. So thick. Holy gosh. No, but I always say it with like no pressure because I don't want to like pressure people to do it. But by all means, you want to do it, I'm gonna give it to you. I don't want to pressure people though. I always try to do that with like whether it's like comes to food stuff that I have. Like people feel like pressured all the time. They're like, oh well, this person worked really hard on this, and if I don't have it, then this person's not gonna like me. I'm like, no, I'm not gonna attach my caring to whether you want to do like some stuff or try any of my stuff or anything. And I tell people, I'm like, no pressure. I'm like, if you want to try it, by all means, try it. If you don't want to try it, don't try it. You're not gonna offend me. Like, it's your life. I want to make sure that you feel comfortable doing whatever you're doing. And that way, I know when people actually try stuff of mine or anything else in life with me, that they actually genuinely want to do it. And that's what I'd rather have. Like, I want people that are like actually genuinely wanting to do stuff. Camera focus? Like, is the camera out of focus? Sorry, I'm trying to focus on getting this ice cream in the container. So I'm not really like focusing on the chat this second, but I will be right back on there and looking at it. I have the ice cream stuff, it's off camera right now, so you're not able to see it just because I have the churner there. Oh my gosh, this ice cream is just something else. I mean, I've made so many different ice creams at this point. You'd think I wouldn't be like shocked by how beautiful it is every time, but I'm shocked every time. Honestly, like it shocks me like how good it turns out every time. Oh, the camera was out of focus? Not on purpose. I might be a little delayed with it where I'm looking at the stuff. I'm like, what? And I'm like, that I'm not really understanding it, but that's all right. That's some of it so far. I still got some in here, which we got to save a little for the chef. Also, do you have any interesting fridge magnets while we're at it? I personally don't, but I hang up my, like when people give me Christmas cards, I have those hung up on there. But I don't have any interesting fridge magnets. Do you? Do you have any? If so, what do you have? My roommates have magnets on the fridge for like every day of the week, I think. Yeah, they got, and then my one roommate has drawings because he's the oldest sibling. He has a drawing from his younger siblings and something about a magician, I think, or somebody juggling. Oh god, dude, it's gonna be freaking rocking my socks off with the flavor. I was a little worried with the condensed milk because I thought it like turned like a different kind of color than I'm used to. But I made sure to try it before I put it in the ice cream because I don't want it to be like, people try it, they're like, ugh, this is disgusting. Or some people will lie about it because they don't want to hurt my feelings, but ironically, lying hurts my feelings more than being honest. Like, just be honest with me. If it sucks, and I'm going to get better at it. Give me the honest, brutal feedback. Try to be kind about it, though. I mean, that's the big thing, right? You can be honest, but also be kind. Like, you can be honest and just be a complete belligerent ass. I don't think that's the best way of doing it either. I think being as kind as possible, but being very just forward and blunt. Very nice. There's a little art of doing it. I gotta try a little for the chef. Oh, I really outdid myself. I really did. Every time. It gets me every time. Oh my god. My favorite fridge magnet is the one that's like a bill from a restaurant joke, which is the restaurant adult life, it's not real. Also the word magnets. Oh, word magnets like with different like nice sayings on them. Oh my god. I say certain ice creams that I make are very much dangerous. Notice the word magnets that you make sentences out of. Oh, those are. Oh, those are the best. I say there's certain ice creams that I make that are dangerous because I shouldn't keep in the house. This is one of them. This is another one of them that are very much dangerous. Oh my god, look at that though. Butterbeer Ice Cream, which is essentially vanilla ice cream with butterscotch in it. Oh. My coworkers are excited, but I also told them, and I'm like, you guys gotta remember that you're not really gonna get that many more ice cream sundaes. Hey, that could be another pun. Sunday, like ice cream, like Sunday. But I told them they're not gonna get so many more ice cream sundaes and stuff because it's like after March 6th, I'm gonna be at my new job. So I'm not gonna be with them anymore. Then some of them will probably joke around and be like, "Oh, well, you could always come back on Sundays and bring the ice cream and stuff too." And I'm like, I like you guys, but I don't know if I like you guys that much. Where I want to come in on my days off. Certain people, yeah, but I don't know if I want to, because I feel like that would just be too much. Like, especially if I'm not working. If I'm working there, it's a little different. But having like obligations of places to go, I don't know if I really like that too much. I don't like feeling obligated like I have to go places. I like feeling like, oh, I'm excited. I love coming here. I'm motivated to go there. Like that's, yeah, days off are mine. That's seriously how I am. Like, I'm very particular about my days off. Like you can have, like I will stay there as much as possible. Like when it comes to work, like I don't care. Like if I'm scheduled today, like say I'm gonna be scheduled 8 to 5s. And then I get an hour long lunch break. It's gonna be Monday through Friday. If they want me to stay till 7, 8 o'clock, even like 9, I don't care. Like I'll stay till 9 o'clock. I don't care. I'll work almost like it'll be like a 12-hour day then because of the hour lunch break. I'd work that easily on my day there that I'm already there. But if you ask me to come in on my day off, no, leave me alone. My day off is my day off. That's for me. Like chances are, when I have a day off, I have plans that day. It's not like I just sit at home and then they're like, "Oh, well, can you come to work?" Yeah, I have nothing going on. Sometimes it's like that, but the vast majority of the time, I got plans on my days off. I don't like to just willy-nilly just whoop and then throw it up in the air and everything. No, absolutely no. Always got plans on the days off. Which I got 3 days off coming up. I got Thursday, Friday, Saturday off. I got an oil change done on my car. Get my tax stuff done so I get my taxes back, so I get money back. And then I work 5 more days after those 3 days off, and then I go to Texas. Do the plans include ice cream and games? Ice cream I make every Sunday. I don't make it any other days of the week because I'd probably get diabetes if I made it every day. But games? Depends on what kind of games. I haven't bought any like new games for a while. I thought about buying that new Hogwarts game, but I've also I spent like $400 on a flight, which I probably should have bought in advance and I would have saved a lot of money, but you know, stuff happens, you get busy. And that blazer, I got the blazer, so I don't want to spend like too much money. I want to get my savings up by August. If I live off one check and then put the other check just sit in the bank, I would have almost like 12 grand just in savings, just to August. And that's what I'm going to try to do, and just challenge myself financially, where I'll have that, then I'll have a nice down payment on a house, and then potentially I could buy a house after August, which would be nice. Because then I throw the money into the house instead of throwing the money into rent and throwing the money away. And I looked at it, there's multiple different angles. Like there's some financial people I've been watching on YouTube, and they talk about where, like some people will just say throw the money into a house instead of throwing the money into rent, which you're throwing away. But there's other hidden costs like upkeep in the house, taking care of all that kind of stuff. And I calculated like one of the houses I was looking at, it doesn't have a finished basement unfortunately, but I could always put a finished basement into it. Nice 2-bedroom house. And it talks about the costs and everything, like there's 5%, like 5% of whatever your house is worth. Typically you'll put that in like maintenance, all that kind of stuff. Like that's just a general rule with it. And that's money that you're not really gonna get back. So I looked at that and it was like $588 a month, which was a little bit more than what I pay here, which isn't too bad. So it's like realistically I'm not spending that much more money, and I could still easily live off like my checks and everything too. Could I finish the basement myself and challenge myself to do it? See, I could, but then there's also the catch. This house probably gonna be long gone by the time I get there, like by August, because the house has already been on the market for like 134 days. I guarantee it'll probably sell before that, but there'll be other houses on the market. But when it comes to finishing a basement, you really don't want to. I'm back, don't ask. Well, now, when you say it like that, I want to ask. But essentially, you can do quite a bit with the basement. Like, I could probably put sheetrock up myself, but like all the wiring and all that kind of stuff, I don't. But I could put like the sheetrock up, but all the wiring I couldn't do, plumbing I couldn't do, just because I'm not skilled with that kind of stuff. But otherwise, a lot of different stuff. I could probably do like the flooring and stuff and learn that kind of stuff too, but a lot of the stuff you typically don't want to mess with. Plus, I'd also have to get a permit from the city because I'm actually doing stuff with the house. I'd have to get like a building permit, I think, I was looking at. But it would be nice to finish the basement, make a basement look all nice. Plus, that adds a nice value to your home. Say I spent
They looked at it. I looked at it online too. Like finishing a basement is like one of the best financial investments you can put into a house. Say I spend 10 grand on finishing a basement, I could get like $7,700 out of it more, and that's like a pretty decent return on investment for it. Like you're not gonna get $10,000 obviously right back out of it. It's just it doesn't work that way, unfortunately. But you'd still get a decent chunk, like 7,700, still a lot better compared to like you invest say like 10,000 into a house for something, and you only get like 2 extra grand out of it. It's like, why would I do that? Like that doesn't make sense. But you're getting a lot more of your return on investment because people love finished basements. I love finished basement. Like, who doesn't love going in the basement? It's not like a creepy, crawly like dungeon, and it's just scary. Like dungeons that's a whole different topic. But where my mind goes. But that would be like a nice kind of thing though. Like having like a nice finished basement. You could go down there and have like I could have a pool table down there and chill out there. Or it could be my like video game, like hangout kind of like family room, where we could all play like Mario Kart together, have a nice couch, have a nice TV down there. Definitely when I get like my own house, though, I want to get the TV out of my bedroom. I don't want to be distracted by watching movies in my bedroom because the bedroom should be for sleep. I think a wise lady told me about that you should have your bedroom just for sleeping and other activities. But do that. And then I'd have my TV that I have with my TV stand. I'd have that in the living room. Oh, this house that I looked at, it looks pretty phenomenal. I really like it. I would get it inspected and make sure everything's like up to code. Everything's good on that part. Another thing that I learned, yeah, wise lady indeed. Why? And then another thing that I would do with the house is check the water pressure. I learned that kind of tip early on, that like you want to see how good the water pressure is in the house, and if you like that kind of stuff, there's ways that you can adapt it and make the water pressure better now. But before, like, it was a lot harder. Like whatever water pressure you have is just the water pressure you have. Like you can't do a lot about that. But there's different like attachments that you can do with it to increase the water pressure that I've learned. But that's a big thing for me. Like I like more of the pressure, like I'm talking about like in the shower. Like if you get in the shower and you got like piss poor, like the water pressure's just barely like trickling on you. Like some people like those rain showers, which I would put a rain shower in probably. But having that nice water pressure just blasting me. Attachments to my sink? No, this wouldn't be attachments to my sink. This would be attachments like in the shower or in the like the water. What's the water heater? Maybe? I don't know. I guess wherever the water would come from, like in the house, like the actual pressure of the water to regulate that. No, I wouldn't have any attachments really for my sink. I like the sink that I have. The sink I have, you can actually pull out the thing, like how they have like those little like spray nozzles that's like a hose. Like you got like the attachment at the end and you sit there and spray. The sink that we got here, you can actually pull like a certain part of it down and you can spray around the sink and everything like this. Oh, it's beautiful. I would have that kind of sink in my house. Easily. But I want a nice deep sink so that I can do all my dishes and everything too. And the house I looked at, like it definitely has a lot of potential to be better. And I put some newer appliances in there and stuff too. It wouldn't be my forever home by any means. Oh, the deep sinks are beautiful. You gotta have a nice deep sink so you can do the dishes in and everything. Not like those little shallow sinks where you can't do anything in. The nice deep sink. Eventually, I'd want to get like where my oven and stovetop basically are. I'd want to have a water spigot that comes out, and then I can fill up my pots over there if I need water quickly, or if I want to make pasta, then I just swivel that over, put water in there and everything too. I would have that easily. But this house wouldn't be like hypothetically, say I'm in the house that I was looking at just now. I probably won't be able to get it because the timing will be bad. But say hypothetically I'm in that house, like I would. I'm trying to think where my thought was going with this now. Now I'm losing my train of thought. But it wouldn't have to be. There we go. I got it back now. It wouldn't have to be like my forever home either. Like I could just invest in it, enjoy it. But eventually I'd want to like actually build my own house so then I can have stuff exactly the way I want it. But I could definitely make it work in certain regards by having the house I'd have, and then I just invest into it, make it look a lot better, add certain things to it. I mean, it all takes time. A nice fully kited kitchen, but you need a wood-fired pizza oven to complete it. Oh, I'd love to have a pizza oven inside. You'd have to have a nice chimney probably attached to it. That's where I would almost have to build a house so then I could incorporate that in there. Because I feel like that would not be the easiest thing to incorporate in a ready-made house. You would have to build a house and essentially have, like, you'd have the clay, like the pizza oven in there, and then you'd have a chimney leading outside, and it'd get all that smoke and everything outside, so then you don't have to get like a whole ventilation hood, all that kind of stuff, where all that stuff would naturally just kind of go out. And then you'd have a wood fire oven, like you're talking about, wood fire pizza oven, and I'd have that inside. I've seen so many people have those kind of things, and I would love to have one inside. I'd also love to have one outside, but having one inside so I can do it all year round. I can do steaks on there, breads, all that kind of stuff. And I've seen a lot of people have that kind of stuff in their house. Like, you would have to have a chimney to actually have all those gases that are created from the wood, so it's ventilation and people are actually safe in the house, so they don't feel like they're gonna die. You'd have all that stuff, have that chimney, and all that stuff would come out. It'd be essentially like a fireplace, but you'd be cooking with it. Is essentially what I'm seeing from it, and I've seen other people have. My friend's family has one in their kitchen. My friend has a brie, a barbecue pizza oven. Ooh. Oh, just an attachment? Okay. I'll have to look that up. That would be phenomenal, though. I want a nice indoor kitchen, and I want a nice outdoor kitchen. Outdoor kitchen would be nice for like entertainment if I have people over. Then I don't have to worry about it. It's like, hey, it's like I don't have enough space in the house. I have all these people coming over. It's like, how am I going to fit them all? And then if you have a nice outdoor kitchen, you essentially just set up tables, and then say I'm like in the countryside at this point. Say I'm out in the country. I can just set up a bunch of tables, set up tents, everything. Like, you got unlimited venue space outside compared to inside. And everybody's got their own space, enjoys it and everything. We just sit there and have a whole social gathering together. Because I want kitchens in every building that I have, essentially. Like, I'd want one in my house. I'd want one outside. And then if I want like a bigger venue, but not like so big like my outside stuff, I'd probably have it in my nice like shop / like garage and be heated. And then I'd have that and have a nice kitchen in there. And then we could have that for like a medium space. Like if I have like a family gathering, but the weather's crappy, we can go there. If I have a smaller kind of like get together, then we do it in the house. And then if I have a big, huge gathering, we do that outside in the outdoor kitchen. Hey, it all planned out. I just gotta have the money to be able to do it. And the skills, because a lot of it, like I can save a lot of money just by being able to do that kind of stuff, by learning how to do all that kind of stuff myself. Places here have a garden or an outside place. Typically they have a brie. I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of that word. Brie? Barbecue, if they can. It is usually built in one, I guess. Oh, okay. See, they have that. They got a pizza oven thing. Pizza farm over in Waseca. That's a little town over here in Minnesota. They have a pizza farm where they have like live music, like bluegrass, like basically old style, like country, like the original like country music. They have live bands that'll come there, and then they have like an outdoor kitchen and a pizza oven there. You can go sit there for live music and everything, and then sit there and have wood-fired pizza. Their pizza's phenomenal. They've definitely perfected their craft with that. And they have different like seasonal kind of pizzas all the time that they make there. Then they got the live music. It's definitely more of the bluegrass kind of like crowd, like you think about people smoking like marijuana and everything too, and just getting blazed out of their mind, listening to bluegrass music and just relaxing and having pizza. That's essentially what my sister does all the time. They're definitely pot smokers, but I've never tried it myself, but I know a lot of people have.
and they're actually thinking about legalizing that in Minnesota. And once they legalize it here, I would be very open to trying it, but I have never tried it once in my life. I think I've heard of that Brai barbecuing before. I haven't tried it. Yeah, pot. I haven't tried Brai Bray Bray. It's legal there. Pot. See, I'm a little skeptical about actually like trying pot because essentially, like, I already struggle with the munchies myself. Like, I already get like huge, large cravings of food, and then if I get those huge, large cravings of food already, and then that would be enhanced with pot, plus just the high anxiety and high energy that I have. And it's like if I smoke that, then I get trapped. You can almost get trapped in your own anxiety. And I'm like, I already feel like I'm trapped in my own anxiety. I'm like, I don't know if pot is the best thing for me to try, but like my pot smoker friends, they talk about it. They're like, as long as you're doing something, and you're sitting there chilling, whether you're playing video games or doing something, and you're not just sitting there smoking pot by yourself and just in your head, it can be an enjoyable experience. But that would be the only time that I would like actually try it is I would try it with the people. I wouldn't try it ever by myself. Like I'm not gonna be. That's just a very poor situation that I put myself in. Everybody does react differently. It is legal to grow at home, but not legal to sell it or use it in a public place. See, that's what they're talking about here in Minnesota. They're talking about they'd legalize it, and you can give up to like 2 grams in public. Like you could exchange 2 grams to somebody else. Not like you get like a brick of pot. Like I think of like cocaine. You got like a whole like kilo. Like you got a whole brick, and then you give it to somebody else right in front of a police officer. You'd be arrested probably right on the spot. But you don't do that. But you can get up to like 2 ounces. Then I think you can have like 8 plants. They just have to legalize it. They just have to go through the Minnesota Senate committees. It's almost like pretty much legalized at this point. It's very much a political kind of thing. Like the Democrats want it, where Republicans are not too enthused about it. But at the same time, it's like it'd be more taxpayer basically money, essentially. Lol here, LOL here. You could bribe the police and they probably do it with you. Oh my god. I mean, money's power, essentially, like any category. People always say money, some people don't believe in money being power, but essentially, if you have enough money, everybody's got a price to do quite a bit of questionable things in life. Typically, I'm not one of those people that you could offer me any like really amount of money and I don't know if I'd really like do it. I guess it depends on like the thing that people would want me to do, but I mean, I guess that's essentially what if you look at it in a different light, that's essentially what Twitch streaming is, isn't it? Like if you're doing subs and people have sub goals for different like things, essentially you're bribing them to do that. Like that's a weird kind of perspective and lens to look at. But essentially that's kind of like what it is. It's weird. Our police isn't very trustworthy though. Never go to the police here. It's a dark path, so you're moving on. Yeah, it is. They're not exactly the most upstanding like citizens though either, and I very much recognize that, especially as somebody that originally went to school for law enforcement. I went to school for law enforcement to begin with. I have my 2-year degree in law enforcement corrections, and then my AA degree, which is basically a transfer degree, and then I have my bachelor's of science in psychology. And I very much recognize that even like when I was going to school for like being in law enforcement, there was a lot of like people that I went to school with, and I'm like, I don't know if I really trust them being a cop. Like that's kind of scary. And I'm like, that is, and I'm like, I just look at it and it seemed very like the thin blue line and everything. It seemed very kind of like culty, and I'm like, I don't know if I feel comfortable with this. And I'm like, this is a little sketchy. And I'm like, that's part of the reason why I switched. But it didn't seem exactly the most. Like everybody's got a different perspective with it. Some people have worked in law enforcement and have different perspectives with it. Some people enjoy it. Some people don't. I don't know. It's hard. It's I think it's a lot of like based off like different people's experience. Like everybody's gonna have a different experience with stuff, and my experience, if my experience is different and more positive, and your someone else's experience is more negative, just because I'm sharing my positive experience doesn't take away from your negative experience. Like your negative experience is what you had, and that's your experience. Nothing can take away from that. Like you had what you had, but I believe like all negative experience and positive experiences you don't really have to work through. Positive you could just remember. Negative experience I believe that you should always try to work through, so then you can just become better yourself and not hold on to it. That's the big thing. But it is like it can be a harder path for a lot of people. In law enforcement, I believe people are quick to blame law enforcement, at least here, for a lot of problems. But people don't realize that, like the chain of command with law enforcement, like we can go into like a whole different like topic with this. But like law enforcement, like people always point out, like, oh, they did this, they did this, they did that, and it's like you got to realize a lot of decisions come from like higher up people, but nobody likes to point the blame or take the accountability in the higher up positions typically. But then law enforcement has to take the whole brunt of it. I don't know. That's just a food for thought kind of thing that I have. But I don't want to go too in depth with it because I feel like I'm treading on kind of like the political kind of territory. And I said no politics typically in my rule section, so I want to hold myself accountable for that too. But it's very much an easy thing to like get into. So maybe I should either change the rule like politics within moderation, so then people can actually like feel like they could talk about it a little bit and have a civil conversation, or maybe if you talk politics, be civil. I think that would be an interesting kind of take, because I believe people should be able to discuss the topics that they want, but as long as they're being civil and respectful about them is a big thing, right? Because I feel like we should always be able to have the harder kind of conversations in life, but if you can't be civil and respectful about them, it's not a productive conversation. Just leave it at no politics. I can leave it at no politics, it's fine. I don't have to add them. Just a food for thought. It's just something that I'm thinking out loud. It's not something that I would just like immediately go like, yeah, there is that one person. I mean, that's with any topic, though, really. There's always that one person that makes it or breaks it. But I feel like once you build a strong community, a lot of that community will essentially help police that in a positive manner, I want to say. Help police those kind of people. So then you can have those civil conversations and it doesn't really get ruined because everybody else is just like, hey, we're all following this and you're just the one person, or maybe two or three people are doing it. Like they're like the few people that are like being uncivil with it, and they pretty much get axed out. But you have to have that strong community behind it first. If you don't have that strong community and strong foundation, you're not going to be able to have that. You just really won't. And I don't really believe in the whole policy, and I enforced it when I worked in residential treatment, and looking back at it, like I don't believe in it. But the whole one person ruins this for everybody. Like, you can still have it. Like, I don't believe it. One person or a few people have to ruin something for everybody. I believe you can still have what you have. You guys just got to talk through it and have the conversation. Everybody's got to feel the way they got to feel. If they feel shitty or feel angry, like, feel your emotions. Work through it, and then we'll get right back to it. Process it. I mean, we all have different responses and stuff, but I feel like that shouldn't take away from the conversations that you want to have. We're all learning at the end of the day. We're all getting better. But that strong community beyond anything, and that's what I'm like just pretty much trying to build at this point. Like, that's why I've been like strongly consistent on Sundays. Like, I was late today, but strongly consistent every Sunday, because that's a day of the week that's just easy for me to stream. Especially, it's going to be an easy transition point to when I have my new job, and then I'd have weekends off. I'd have every weekend off, so I could do it every Sunday. It's not like, Oh, I have my work schedule now. Now I work on Sundays. It's gonna be harder to no, because I'm not gonna work on Sundays. I'll have Sundays off. Even the day that I work, like Sunday today, it'll be nice because it's like I don't work till 1. So then essentially, and it's 11:50 a.m. It's about to be 12. But I could stream this, and sometimes there'll be longer streams like this where it'll be almost like 3 hours, like when I'm making the actual ice cream from scratch. And I'm not trying to put like too much pressure by doing like all the different cooking kind of stuff that I want to do right away, because I'm slowly trying to build this into a habit. And once I have this built into a habit, then I could slowly build in the other habits and throw them all in there. My ice cream stuff I've been looking at, and I'm not trying to compare like my reactions or my views to other people like in a negative sense where I'm like, oh, I'm jealous. This person got 16,000 views and I got like only like 2. And I'm like, I'm not trying to compare it like that, but I look at other people, like other streamers that I look at, like some people are like partners, some people aren't partners, some people have like almost 1,000 followers, like different like Twitch streamers that I've seen. And I've looked at their shorts and I just look at their view counts. And their view counts sometimes will be like 23 for like a short, or sometimes it'll be like a few hundred, like it won't be that high. But every time I've been posting like different food content, for the vast majority, they've been getting like 800 in views, like almost 1,000, like every time that I post it. And it just goes to show you that I'm not sitting there posting stuff. Just I'm not posting like what's the word for it? You want to have what's the word? There's a few words like with that quantity versus quality, right? So you have the I'm not throwing like 50 videos out at a time and be like do and then just hope. Like where I have the quality aspect and I'm actually showing people like the ice cream, having different hashtags in there, throwing different like creative kind of stuff in there. I got to get better with the video editing still, so it makes it look a lot better. But for the most part, like a lot of my shorts, like they're not blowing up so much on TikTok, but that's fine. I don't have to blow up on every platform. Like I'm not really worried about it. If I just stop posting on TikTok, I'd be completely fine, and I can shut that down and just do YouTube Shorts. But my YouTube Shorts have been getting almost like 1,000 views, like regularly, and I've been getting like 23, almost like 30 on average, probably 30 likes on each one. And I usually like I've found like just with myself that I'll like my own video and then it'll show one like and it'll boost it up a little bit, and that actually kind of like expedites it a little bit. Plus, it's kind of nice because it's like that self love kind of piece because it's like I'm actually liking my own content. It's not like I'm just making it and just throwing it out there and saying, well, good luck. No, I'm liking my own stuff. But I found many different kind of stuff with that, and I posted on Facebook Reels and stuff too, and trying that kind of stuff out. I get a little bit more there. Not, I think I've had a total of like 1,000 views for like all the videos that I posted. So that's like 3 or 4, like divided by like 1,000. I don't know which one's got more, which one's got less, but just trying different things out. And it's like ever since I've been able to just take the pressure off this, where I feel like I put a lot of pressure on it, and I made it seem like a part-time job where I didn't like doing it as much. You take that pressure off and just be like, it's something that I make time to do, but if I don't have time to do it, I'm not going to do it. Like, I'm going to be, like, very kind to myself in that category, where ever since I just had that kind of mentality, I've done a lot better with the kind of stuff, and I've enjoyed it, and I'm not sitting there feeling like it's forced or I'm faking anything. And it's really nice. Like, one of my buddies that streams regularly, he streams Destiny too. He talks about, he's like, yeah, he's like, streaming is basically just my retirement like gig. Like, I do it when I do it, and if I don't have time for it, I don't have time for it. And ever since he said that, it like clicked something in my brain. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I need to look at it under that mentality. I like that mentality. I'm like, that helps a lot. And ever since I looked at it under that mentality, I don't sit here and have that added stress from just being able to stream and doing the stuff that I do. But that's just stuff that I found that works for me. Like everybody has stuff that works differently for them, right? We all have different stuff, and that's something that I found early on that works for me. I really, yeah, that mentality is really nice. It is nice. This is my, this is one of my work wives and her kid. pops up on here. She sent me a Christmas card. That's one of my work wives and her kid. She was at a meeting. So I work at a gas station. I've said that before, and they have like the food service leader, and he's just, oh, you can have all caps. That's fine. I know there's some people that are gonna have like their entire message in caps, and that's why I put that on there. Like their entire message could be like a paragraph. Like that might be a little too much, but I could take that off too. That's not the end of the world. It's not like you're gonna get muted. You're not gonna get kicked out or timed out. I'm aware of because of the caps, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. If you do, we'll figure it out, and that's on me. But they have their food service program, so they'll have like district meetings with all the food service leaders and everything. They got like 800 some stores, but then they have like probably like 30 or 40 stores get together, and they have all the food service leaders get together for their food service meetings, and then they'll have like the assistant food service leader. Well, she went to the meeting. She works at the truck stop one in town, which is the one I used to work at, and the store I work at now, the food service leader went to school with her. So then they went to the meeting, and then the AFSL I'm really good friends with. I'm friends with both of them. And then they went to go see my work wife there. And the AFSL, she's like going over to Liz. Oh yeah, her hair is very pretty. That's her daughter too. But her daughter's pretty much essentially like a mini-me version of her, and I joke around with her all the time, like no DNA test required. And people tell me, they're like, you don't need a DNA test when it's a woman and the child. It's like, you're pretty sure you know it's their kid. And I'm like, yeah, I know, it's just a joke. Like, settle down. But she was, the AFSL asked her, she's like, she's like, you know Ty, right? And she's like, well, how do you know Ty? And she's like being all defensive and everything too. She's like, how do you know him? And they're like, no, we like him and everything too, meaning me and everything. They're like, no, we like him and everything. And she's just very like defensive to the point where it's like, if they would have said something bad about me, she would have flipped the out on them. Like, she was very like just adamant about it. It was so funny. And I gave her crap about it. I'm like, hey, Liz, which is my work wife, that's her name. I gave her crap. I'm like, Liz, I'm like, I heard you were a little defensive about me and stuff. She's like, hell yeah, I was. And I'm like, the AFSL just basically wanted to be your friend. They just didn't know how to really go about it. I'm like, we're all a little awkward and shit. And I told the AFSL later, I'm like, if you feel like you're awkward in that sense, I'm like, you're in good company, because pretty much all my friends, we're all just like awkward together. And it's like, you're not really awkward if we're all awkward. We're all just normal to each other. But to other people, we're awkward. But it's like, you're going to fit in just fine. Like, don't even worry about it. Like, it's all fine. And she's sitting there having like a little anxiety about it. I'm like, she's just a strong lady. I'm like, what can I say? I'm like, every one of my work wives are very strong ladies. Like, that's what I require basically for my work wives. Like, they are strong women. They really are. And strong women have always been like just attracted to me in the sense where it's like I've been able to just have them flock. Like, that's seriously like how it is. Like, but I feel like at the same category, like, I'm a strong guy and I get attract, and strong guys go to strong women. Like, it's just the category with it though too. And it's like where a lot of like my male friends, like growing up, like I feel like they've been more intimidated by stronger females. They're like, oh, I don't know. Because a lot of people just have insecurities where they're like, oh, well, I'm not as strong as this person. This person's stronger than me. It's like, no, it's like, I honestly really like that. I like strong women, and I'm not intimidated by them in the slightest. And I get along with them really well. Like, that's just the kind of person I am. But I also grew up around sisters where I'm used to that kind of stuff, where some guys aren't, and they get thrown off by it, where it's like, say you get married, and if she's making more money than you feel insecure by that. It's like, no, honestly, like if I had when I have my significant other, she's making like boatloads of money compared to me, I wouldn't be ashamed at all. I'm like, good for you. I'm like, we get to travel more. Like, awesome. Like, I'm not insecure by that. Like, I'll keep working on different stuff that I can help better the relationship with. I look at it as a learning opportunity and not just a victim mentality. And you're right, she does care. People show it differently. Honestly, I think awkward turtles are the best friends. It seriously is. Oh goodness. I got all my work wives are very strong ladies. And I treat them right with a lot of different categories, like just being thoughtful, being there for them, giving them baked goods whenever they want. Like Liz was asking me one time, she's like, "Hey," she sent me these pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls, like a pumpkin spice cinnamon roll recipe. She's like, "Can you make these for me sometime?" I'm like, absolutely. So then I think her and I were at the gym together. I can't remember what we were doing. No, we were going out to eat at Olive Garden. We went out to eat. Her daughter and I. We went out to eat, had food and everything, and she's about to leave, and I'm like, no, I'm like, you gotta stop by my house. I'm like, I got something for you. I got a secret for you. She's like, okay. So she comes over here. I pop them in the oven. Made her pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls. Oh, she was smiling ear to ear. And I told her there's leftovers, and she's about to leave. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like, there's leftovers. I'm like, these are all yours. They're not mine. Like, I made them for you. And she takes them home and she throws them all in a container immediately. She's just smiling ear to ear. And I'm like, that's the way I treat my work wives. Like, I definitely spoil them and treat them and everything. And I mean, I get spoiled and treated right back for the most part. Like, I get to be held accountable on certain things that I need to be held accountable. I get taught different things. You did see a picture of that, those pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls. I sent pictures on Discord, but I don't know if I sent one to you individually. I don't think I did at that point. But I sent those pictures on Discord. Those pumpkin spice cinnamon rolls, they were pretty good. I don't know if they were my favorite kind of cinnamon roll, because I like the regular ones that I make, but they were definitely pretty good. Red velvet cinnamon rolls would be amazing. Just thought of those now, currently. And there's those Hodaki milk cinnamon rolls, which I don't know what an origin, but I want to make those too. Nah, I just have a really good food memory. Oh my god, we'd share another thing together? Dude, I seriously have an amazing food memory. Like, some people are like, how do you remember that? I'm like, it was food. Like, why would I forget? Why would I forget it? It's like I remember exactly where I had the delicious food. I remember when I had it and where I had it. Like, I remember exactly, like, there's a buffalo bison burger that I had that was the best burger that I've had to date. Like, I haven't had a better burger than it. And the sad part is, once you have a really good burger, it's really hard to have other burgers taste the same. I had a buffalo burger when I was in Colorado Springs in Colorado. And oh my gosh, I had mushrooms on it and everything too. I think I had a half-pound buffalo burger. Like, it was a big burger, like probably like this. Like, the whole thing was like this. Not just the patty. If the patty was like this, I probably would have died. But it was probably like this big. Oh my gosh, I was savoring every bite of it. I wanted to cry because it was so freaking good. Ever since then, I've been trying to have like a good burger like that, and I just can't. Because buffalo meat is so tender, yet it's not really high in fat. It's very lean. It's a lean cut of beef, but all the fat in the burger is positioned perfectly where the marbling of the meat is just mouth watering. You just see it and you're immediately drooling. Like, that's how good the burger is. Like, you don't even have to have it. Haven't had buffalo, but the burger sounds good the way you describe it. Seriously, like, you just look at it and you're salivating right at the mouth. Because you can see the little residuals, like, of fat. Like, it's not that much fat in there. It's not like you have like 20 ground beef and you got like pretty much like you could taste like the fat and it's all chewy and gross. Like, yuck. Fuck, disgusting. I about puke just thinking about that. But you could have essentially like it's just all the little residuals of fat that just sit there just dripping out, and you're just anticipating like to take a mouth of that, take a nice bite of that burger, and it's just, oh my god. I look at it and my mouth immediately just like a waterfall. God, it's so good. And then you have the nice cheese on top. Then you got a perfect amount of sauce on there. I think it was like a chipotle sauce or something, or whatever I put on there at the time. You get a nice toasted bun. Then I got sweet potato fries on the side, nice crispy, fresh out of the fryer. Got some ranch to dip them in. I get so excited. Anytime they have sweet potato fries on the menu and I can get a side of ranch, I'm a happy man. Like, I am a happy, happy man. You don't have ranch? You don't have ranch sauce? Really? You know what ranch is? You have heard of it? Oh, ranch is amazing. I don't think there is any on the fridge, otherwise I'd tell you basically what it's made out of. But oh, there is. Keep in mind, it's not my ranch. Like, I would get the Hidden Valley stuff. The Hidden Valley stuff is like the really good stuff. But essentially, it's like that's got a bunch of different like ingredients in there that you typically that I wouldn't put in one if you make it. But essentially, it's like kind of like mayo, and then you throw buttermilk in there. Was essentially what I remember if I actually like made it before. You got like mayo, you got buttermilk in there. You throw some nice dill. It's so creamy. So creamy, but it's got that little like perfect like acidic zing to it. Oh my gosh. Anybody in Minnesota, I guarantee, loves ranch for the most part. And it's very much a Midwestern kind of thing. People will put ranch on anything. They'll even put it on pizza. Looks like our salad dressing, but the unhealthy one, it's definitely not the most healthy of salad dressings. Yeah. You can make ranch with Greek yogurt, and that's definitely a lot healthier, but it's not as flavorful. But you can make a ranch out of Greek yogurt, and that's a lot significantly healthier for you. But there's certain things in life that I just enjoy just to enjoy, and I don't sit there and get harsh about the calories or the macros or anything, because it's like I ride so much bike and I exercise so much that I'm burning it all off anyways. And that's why, like, I tell people early on, they're like, oh, you're not even that big or anything. They're like, you sit here and talk about food like you do. It's like, we thought you'd be a lot bigger. And I'm like, no, I would be bigger if I didn't exercise the way I did. Oh, ranch is phenomenal. It really is. One of my favorite things. And if you like it, you like it. If you don't like it, you don't like it. I'm not going to, like, shame you or be upset if you don't. I mean, you try it. It's pretty good. And then you throw MSG in there on top of it for that nice salty umami kind of flavor, but then make it really addicting. Ooh, I'm gonna cry just thinking about it. Ranch would be a perfect sauce for like a pizza too. Have a nice base. You have ranch on there, so you have the creamy kind of stuff, and then you could probably throw like pickles or chicken or something. I had to think like what you would actually throw on there. But they have like a chicken. I guess they have a chicken bacon ranch pizza that you can typically get here. Not healthy in the slightest. You already have the ranch, all the fat from there, all the fat from the bacon, and then you have all the cholesterol from the chicken. Definitely not the most healthy. I have loose MSG, and every time I mention it to people, they look at you. You love it? Were you saying you meant I love MSG? That's all right. And every time I mention to people, they look at me like I'm crazy. Like they just don't like MSG because they think it's like they have that misconception that it's bad for you, even though it's not really that bad for you. Like I feel like anything in moderation is good, but you don't want to like dump it in everything, obviously. But MSG is phenomenal. They think it's bad. I mean, it has a very bad rap. MSG. MSG has a hugely bad rap. Like, it's understandable why it does, but it's not exactly the worst thing in the world either. But otherwise, it's 12:10 currently, so I'm probably gonna try to raid off for the first time, as long as I got people that are open that I can raid to. Otherwise, I'm probably going to end it just because I want to try to get ready for work. I'm going to upload my YouTube shorts quick, and then I want to get my other stuff done. So you're going to go to sleep? All right, that's fine. Get some good sleeps. Good night. I'm going to raid off. I don't think I have too many. I don't know if Mike is still here. Mike might still be lurking. But you can go to bed. Thank you for stopping by, Nim. Have a wonderful day. Bye. I got to raid off at my other computer. I'm probably not going to raid off on this one. I'm going to try raiding off for the first time.